Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this live coaching session with me, Holly Matthews. If you have never hung out with me before, I am a self-development coach, a very straight talking self-development coach. I'm a former TV actress and I am the founder of the Happy Me Project. This is self-study courses, group coaching programs, soon to be a membership. It is a podcast that goes live every Thursday at 7 a.m. UK time, and a movement on social media and a Facebook group, which some of you will be coming in from. If you're not in my Facebook group, it's an awesome community full of really supportive and excellent human beings that don't BS anything and they find solutions. And that's what I love about it. So today, in this coaching session, we are going to be talking about, as you might have seen the title, how to toot your own horn, how to talk about yourself in a positive way that perhaps sometimes you need to sell yourself, sometimes you might want to get a job. There might just be reasons to talk about yourself in a positive way in general anyway, for whatever the reason. And we're going to talk about it because I think a lot of people find this challenging. Now, I can't see anybody's comments yet. I'm going to wait and see, but let me know if you can see me, hear me, all of that stuff. I can see some of you sitting in. The little eye is telling me that you're sitting in. If you are watching this on the replay on YouTube or on Facebook or somewhere like that, then do let me know that you've hung out with me and that you've watched this. But if anybody could just let me know in the comments that you can hear me and see me before I continue, that would be excellent. It just lets me know that I'm not talking to myself, which is a concern. Good morning on Facebook. I can't see who it is, but thank you. I'm assuming you can see me and hear me then. I've just got my cup of coffee in my mug with my straw, which is what I do. I can see somebody there as well. All good sound-wise, amazing. I can see people coming in from different places. So maybe in the Facebook group, there isn't as many. Okay, cool. Doesn't matter. We're going to get started. So let me know in the comments and let me know who that is in the comments because I can't see. I can't see who it is. If you're on Facebook, you have to give Facebook permission if you want Facebook to have permission for me to see who it is, or you have to tell me who it is. So let me know in the comments how you are, from a 1 being rubbish, 10 being I feel absolutely incredible, and oh, it's Emily, amazing. Hi, Emily. 10 being I feel incredible, and everywhere in between. Let me know how you are feeling today, Emily, because I can see you. And anybody else who is watching from wherever you're watching, let me know in the comments, and hopefully I will be able to see them all. Although I do feel like I'm only seeing Facebook comments at the moment, which is strange. I don't know. Good morning, Tanya. Tanya is a 6, I think. And Tanya is a 6, high or low for you? Because it's hard for me to tell that one because it's more in the middle range. I feel like a solid 9 today. I feel good. I set some intentions last night about what an amazing week it's going to be. I've washed my hair, put a little bit of makeup on my face today. Those of you that have been watching me do lives the last few days, I've had 4 days without makeup and it felt lovely. Not that I absolutely like pile it on anyway, but it's nice to have a little bit of mascara on and a little bit of concealer, isn't it? You know, got somebody who's a 9 today, and Tenny says pretty high for me. Got creative yesterday, which felt good. Fantastic. Emma, hello, lovely Emma. Emma's a 9 today. Good morning, Ria. Let us know in the comments how you're feeling as well today. I'm going to sneeze. Am I? I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. Well, that was nice for you. Woo! Right, we're ready to go then. That kicks us off. I'm sure I just blew somebody's eardrums out there with the noise of my sneezing. Is the quality all right in terms of the signal? It doesn't look that strong on my screen for some reason, and I can see people dipping in and out. So do let me know if anything changes with that. And then we will get started. And do let me know, even if you're watching the replay, where you've been at today, how you've been feeling. And thanks for sitting in with these lives, because it's been nice to get really stuck in with doing the lives over the last week while we've been in isolation. It's been nice to just to chat to you guys and see where you're at and see what's going on for you at this point in the year, which is terrifyingly like halfway through the year. How did that happen? I have no idea. And Ria's a 9 again today. Amazing. Fantastic. All sounds good. Fantastic. Thank you, Tanya. So yeah, today's topic is about how to talk about yourself and how to celebrate yourself. Ria says, just getting my boys sorted for their summer boxing classes. That sounds fun. So I might go watch on replay. No worries at all. That sounds really fun. So we're talking about how to talk about yourself in a positive way, out loud, outside of your head. Obviously, we want you to be doing that for yourself anyway. I want you to begin to start feeling good about yourself. But isn't it challenging to share our wins with other people, to share the things that we're doing well, to talk about our work in a positive way, our achievements? I know that even for myself, it's taken many years of me getting comfortable with that, where back in the day, many moons ago, I would not have felt comfortable with that at all. And the reason for that is the old stories that we carry around that. I am sure I'm not the only person here that was told it was big-headed, or you are full of yourself, or she loves herself, in some form, some kind of story around that. And you can let me know in the comments as well. I'm fairly confident I'm not the only person that had heard those kind of comments. Good morning, Hannah. And has heard people in their past, maybe even still, but certainly when you're younger, anytime you shared something that was a success or a win, it was often met with, oh, she loves herself. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are was a big thing where I was from. And my background being in TV land, in the world of TV, I felt very, very squashed by that notion of she loves herself. And when I was really young, because when you're a kid, you don't have an issue, do you? If those of you that are parents or around children, you will know children like, look at me, look at my dance, look at my thing I made. How amazing is this? Like, they're so full of just that they're not bothered by like societal pressure to squash down what they do. And then we hit a certain age, tween to teen age, where at some point somebody goes, who do you think you are? And you go, oh, where's the support gone? There was a lovely support network here. And I remember for me, when I first got my first TV role, I was only 11. And I remember that feeling of being squashed, that feeling of, I knew I wanted to be an actor. I was building up to this and I got this part and it felt incredible. And I was so excited and I wanted to share it. Like, I wanted to share my joy with other people. And it was instantly met with, oh, who do you think you are? Will you have loads of money? Who do you think you are? And it was met with this negativity. And I shut up. And I squashed it down. And I taught myself that that's what people needed me to be. They didn't need me to talk about myself. They didn't need me to show my wins, because what I learned from what my experience was that if you share your wins or your successes, it makes other people feel uncomfortable. That was my story that I told myself for a long time. And it took me ages. It took me lots and lots of work, the work that we're going to talk about today, to be able to sit here, not stand, I'm definitely not standing, to sit here and say to you now, I can feel comfortable saying I'm great at what I do, I'm an all right person, and that feels all right. And I don't feel uncomfortable with saying that to you, but it has taken some time. And I know that I won't be the only person experiencing this. So let's talk about initially, let's say it's a workspace or you have a business. I know some of you will have businesses, or you want to share, you're in a job interview or you're in a space, a networking position. These might be things that we're starting to go out into the world and begin to do. And there are a lot of you that will feel really uncomfortable about talking about the things that you are good at. You might not even recognize those things. So that's kind of a separate issue. But let's say you can come up with a few things that are selling points to you in a working space, that you can look at your CV or your business and you can go, that has some value. And I'm sure there will be that. And if that isn't the case, and we're looking at a working kind of world here, if that isn't the case, then I would definitely suggest that you sit down with somebody else and get them to help you to pull out what the wins are. Because I do know that there'll be loads of you going, I've no idea. I just fell into the work that I do and I don't know what are the skills that I have from those things. So it'd be nice to sit down with somebody, get them to look at it and go, well, you know that you worked at McDonald's. Well, the skills that you got from working at McDonald's are you were able to talk to people, you were good at organizing, you're good at working with systems, and you turned up on time, so you're good at timekeeping, and it might be useful to help somebody to pull those out. If you have a business, I would hope that you started your business because there was some kind of pull or passion, something that excited you. So I'm confident that there will be something that you find in that's easier to sell. If your business and your work is you, that's where it becomes a little bit more challenging. So people who are their own product, as I am essentially, it would be easy to start to intertwine you and the thing that you are offering to other people as one thing. So for me, I work with a lot of people, a lot of women particularly, who are coaches or who have their own business. And sometimes their worth and how they feel about themselves gets intertwined in the business itself. Hi, Natalie. Can't wait to see you at Coventry in August. So excited. Amazing. Oh, fantastic. I'm glad that you're coming along. It's exciting. Can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see people. And if you haven't got your tickets for Coventry, and you just head to imhollymatthews.com/allmystuff, or there'll be links somewhere as well. Good morning, Alicia, as well. And so, yeah, when people are in business, they can get intertwined. And what can happen with that is you start going, well, you know, I shouted at my husband the other day. I was mean to my kids. I looked frumpy the other day and I felt horrible. And so you intertwine that with your work and your business, and it all gets muddled up, and you feel that you just can't promote anything because you're not a valuable human being. And then we go into this horrible spiral of negativity, and we don't want to talk about any of our achievements. Do let me know in the comments how you feel about this. If I asked you to tell me about how amazing you are, how comfortable would you feel with that? Because I'm pretty confident that I wouldn't be the only person that had that struggle. Rhea says, I think what helps me to feel comfortable talking about my own wins is also always acknowledging other people's wins. And Rhea, you've jumped ahead of me, because that's absolutely what I put down. It's such a good tip that Rhea has just given there. So we'll talk about that now, because Rhea's just saying, as other people succeed makes me happy and inspires me. And so absolutely, when we begin to make wins a part of the conversation, it gets less scary to talk about our owns. Our owns, that's not a thing, our own. So Rhea was saying there that she finds talking about other people's wins helps to introduce the conversation. And Natalie's just agreeing, no, always fear sounding like showing off for arrogance. That's what we were saying at the beginning, Natalie. There's that conversation where we feel it's big-headed, it's we're full of ourselves and all of that. And Alicia says, here I am today, ready not to give up. Good. No giving up today. Absolutely not. Today is about striving forward. And I know you have a business, so this will be really relevant to you. But Rhea is talking about when we start to share, when we celebrate other people, when you get into a headspace of everybody can win. Everybody can win. Guys, the world is fucking massive. It's massive. I don't think I certainly can't get my head around how big the world is, how much abundance and money and opportunities there are. And sometimes it gets, it gets in my face. Like yesterday, I saw somebody who I stumbled on their social media account, no clue who they are. I've never seen them in mainstream media, not a clue. That person had 2 million followers and clearly a successful business because of that. In their own part of the world, on the internet, somewhere in space in this world, they had created a whole life for themselves that I, in my home, knew nothing about. And it reminded me there is so much out there for all of us. And so by doing what Rhea has suggested there, in celebrating other people, which I love to do, I love it. When you celebrate other people, you also give space for them to celebrate you, for you to talk about your own wins, because it's in a space and it's in conversations where it doesn't feel that you're the only one winning. And it doesn't matter if you're in business, it doesn't matter if you have a normal job or you don't work at all. So let's say you're a mom and you don't work and you look after your kids, and which is hard, you do all of that stuff. You need to celebrate those wins to keep you going. And you should be safe to celebrate those with your friends and say, do you know what? I totally won today. I'm going to celebrate my win. My win is that I managed to clear out the downstairs cupboard and everybody ate a healthy meal today. And I feel like that is a win. Now, there will still always be the one dickhead who wants to make a comment about, that's, you know, how do you think? Well, you think you did brilliant. There's always going to be one, but let's just put this into perspective. If you tell 10 people that, 9 of them are likely to go, oh, brilliant, well done you. Oh God, you've inspired me to go and clear my downstairs cupboard out and try and do a good meal tonight. It will be more that than that one person. And just because you've had that dickhead in your life throughout your life, we all know it's probably the same person just wandering around spreading their dickheadery. They're not the norm. Most of us recognize in each other we're all doing our best. And so when we hear somebody feel confident enough to celebrate a moment where they won, most of us, apart from dickhead person, most of us will go, well done, well done, high five that. And that will be your reaction. And when you get the one dickhead that wants to make a comment or be negative, always remind yourself that it's their issue, not yours. It's their business. Other people's opinion of you is none of your business. And that opinion of you is based on their issue with themselves. Because sometimes, now and then, when we share our wins, we hold a mirror up to other people as to things about themselves they wish they were doing and they're not. That's got nothing to do with you. That's got everything to do with that person. And so we have to just acknowledge that's a thing and that sometimes that will happen, but it's rare. It's not the norm. Tanya says, I'm happy with raving about my creations, but I'm feeling ugly. My face has got fat because of the steroids, so I'm not going live like I should. Q, I don't want to explain my face. I totally understand that. And there is an absolute compassion in that, because it's awful when you're going through something, especially when it's your face. And I was a person, I had spots when I was younger, and I've always battled with my skin. And it amazes me, Tanya, that people now say, oh, you've got nice skin. And it's funny that I still struggle to see it, even though logically I can't see marks on my face like I used to. It sits within you. And so I really get that feeling of not wanting to share. And I wonder if there's a space that I wonder if there's a way that you can put it that rips the bandage off, and then we get to what it's really about, which is about your creations and why your audience is there. Because I get it. Sometimes we just don't want to talk about our stuff. You know, there were times when my husband died that I wanted to go and talk about work, but I didn't want to mention the fact that my husband had died. I didn't want to talk about grief. And yet it would still come up. And that was always, it was sometimes a thing, and sometimes still is a thing, that I just rip the bandage off and go, so maybe it's that you go, guys, I'm coming on here live. I'm going to let you know straight away. I am struggling right now with my face, and it's taken a lot for me to come on live today. I'm having maybe a quick explanation. I'm making this long-winded, but you give a quick explanation and you go, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore, because that's not why I'm here. What I'm here to talk about, what I am here to talk about, is my amazing creations, and that's all that really matters. The stuff that I've got going on right now, you've all been through your own version of that. And actually, what it will do is let your audience know that they're okay, because I guarantee, Tanya, in fact, I know a little bit about your work and the space that you're in. And I guarantee that your audience is going through some stuff as well. And that by you sharing that and still showing up, they will go, maybe I'm okay as well, you know. Tanya says, first time I've admitted this publicly and it's made me cry. I want to give you a hug. I want to give you a hug. Mate, I feel it. I feel that. And it's okay. Let those tears out. Let them out, because they need to be out, right? And it is, rip the bandage off. And if you want to tag me in anything or get any of the group to come and support, we absolutely will. Let us know. In fact, let us know in the group when you're going to go live and where you're going to go live, and we'll come and support. So at least you know that we know you're going to rip the bandage off, and you're just going to acknowledge it and go, this is what's going on, guys, but I didn't want to hear to talk about. And I promise you, you will inspire other people by doing that. People will be sat there going, oh, do you know what? it's nice to see somebody that hasn't got everything perfect. It's nice to see somebody who's going through real stuff that actually I'm going through, and I don't see that represented. And that makes me feel that I can't do those things. So be the thing that, you know, sometimes we've got to be that thing that we want to see, right? And lots of hugs and just, yeah, it's rubbish. It's no point pretending that it doesn't feel horrible, because it does. It does when you're going through stuff on your body and your face and you feel self-conscious. It does. And so even though I talk a lot about, you know, body positivity and feeling confident about yourself, that doesn't mean that there's not things about ourselves that we wish weren't the case sometimes. That's just the reality of human beings and the society that we live in. And I also am thinking it's probably bloody sore as well. So just sending you loads of love as you go through all of this stuff, because it isn't fun. It isn't. But let's push through it for you this week. Let's make this week rip the bandage off. You're gonna have your cry today. Today's the day to have you cry and to acknowledge it. And it's okay that that's the space that you're in right now. It is. I know that everybody on here has been in a space where we felt shit. We all have, and we've all thought, I don't want to do the thing. I don't want to go into work. I don't want to face the mums in the school run. I don't want to go live, whatever the story is, because it's individual to all of us. But just know that you've got the support here. And if you want us to come on the live and just champion you and cheer you on, I know that this group will do that. So this is why it's so important to have these kind of conversations, guys, because sharing our wins is super important to our mental health, and also it pushes our work and our business. And I don't want you to sit in a space where you don't feel able to do that. I say a lot that life is short. It is. And we don't get loads of chances at this. And so sometimes we've got to push through some old bullshit stories that we've been hanging on to. And maybe some of you have still got that story from whenever. And I bet you can even remember a time as well when something happened. So I bet you can remember a time when somebody said, who do you think you are? You're so big-headed. I do. I can remember loads of them. And even recent, I've heard it even recently. And I heard my oldest daughter said it recently to me about something. That's bragging. That's big-headed. And I went, oh, we're going to explore that one. So it's big-headed for me to say that I look nice today. Oh, that's interesting. Why is that? Why is that big-headed? And then they now laugh. They were laughing at me yesterday because, was it yesterday or the day before? I put something on. I tried something on and I was like, oh, girl, in the mirror to myself. You look fine. Like, I was messing, obviously trying to play up to the kids and stuff as well. But I did feel nice. It was a nice outfit. And my daughters were laughing, going, normal mums. Oh, this outfit looks all right. Our mum. Oh, girl. And I was like, yeah, but you know what? You've got to celebrate your wins at times. You've got to celebrate when you feel good. Now, those wins aren't always going to be the massive trophy wins, I got a degree. They're not always going to be those kind of wins. We have wins every single day of our lives, and we don't always acknowledge them, and we don't always feel confident sharing those wins. I'd like to create a space for us to do that. Actually, I think I used to do it, and in my Facebook group, and I'm going to do that once a week. We're going to do a weekly wins thread, because we need to talk about and share within a safe space, so you get used to doing it, what our wins are. Now, if you have a business, I would argue that you can do that without even having to always say things, because you've got your website, maybe you've got social media pages. Hopefully you will get testimonials, because other people sharing what they like about what you do. That's easy. That's an easy win. And I always think that when you share something, a success that you've had, if you share the steps that it took, that can also help you to feel less braggarty about it. So when I've shared with you guys that I have a book coming out, have I shared that with everyone? I don't know if I have. Lots of people to talk about. But I keep sharing it because I'm impulsive. But that I will have a book coming out. I've shared with you, I'm so excited about that. That was a massive goal of mine. And I share that quite confidently anyway now, but I want you to know that that was not that was not like, there you go, there's your book deal. That took lots and lots of steps and lots of work. And it's still taking lots and lots of work because I'm editing it at this moment. And by sharing the process, sometimes that can feel less like you're bragging and more like you're just sharing a win, and it feels good. I'm just going to look at the comments because I've missed some. Natalie says, I feel really lost, and that's where I found Holly's page. I lost my nan recently and feels like I can't carry on without her, but I know it's not what she would want. Absolutely. I'm determined to be happy self and make my business a success. Like Holly said earlier, I am my business. Absolutely. And when we lose people, when important people in our lives aren't with us, it's so hard. And this week on Thursday, it's 4 years since my husband died. And so, and I felt it last week physically. I feel okay this week. But I think it's because my body remembers that time. And when we lose people that are so important to us, it is such a process. But the one thing, and I do say this a lot, is that when someone dies, in my mind, the reframe of us being happy and continuing, because I know sometimes people find that really challenging, that we feel a sense of guilt, is to remember exactly like Natalie just said, Nan wanted you to be happy. Nan wanted you to succeed. Nan lived, however many years Nan got on this planet. She lived a good life and she did some good stuff and she had some great experiences. And what she wants and what she would have wanted is for you to go out into the world and enjoy it and grab life and have experiences and all of those things. And that's, when we lose people, that's the reframe, isn't it? And that doesn't mean that we won't get sad. That doesn't mean that we won't have moments when we think, I'd have loved to tell Nan that. She'd have loved that. And I tell you one thing is that gets easier and harder in some ways. Like just today, actually, Brooke, my daughter, was saying she felt sad. She was going, we were talking about John Lewis. So the other week we went to John Lewis. And I said to the girls on the way there that it always made me feel a little bit wobbly because John Lewis in Solihull, me and Ross used to go there and we used to have a cup of tea and a cake. You used to get off John Lewis a free cup of tea and a cake once a month if you were a member of John Lewis. I don't know if they still do it. And so me and Ross used to go every month and we'd go and have a cup of tea and a coffee, get it free, feel all dead smoke with ourselves because we got it free and we felt like we were cheating the system, loving life, and we'd have a laugh and we would mess around and we would just have a good time together. And so for me, it's so steeped in that. And Brooke this morning was saying tomorrow she's going to Solihull with her nan. And she was like, I'm going to feel sad about John Lewis now that you've said that. And I said, but what you have to remember is even though I told you I had a twinge of sadness when I was going there, actually when I was there, it was filled with joy and it was filled with memories and good memories. And so maybe when you go there, you can think of the joy that me and Dad had and the laughter and the fun and how that really was part of the sense of who we were. And so each and every year, each and every moment we go through that, we can begin to reframe those moments of sadness with just remembering them in a positive light. And I know that you will get there, Natalie, absolutely. And I know it's you're saying it's early as well. So it just takes its time. It does. And I'm glad that I think you're going to come to the workshop. So that's amazing. And Tanya says, my new website went live this week, which I'm super proud of. Well, that's a win. Woohoo! Fantastic. I love that, Tanya. That's such a big win. In fact, you guys can tell me in the comments as well what your wins are over the last week. Yes, Alicia says the banquet moments. And someone said, someone on Facebook says, someone said it recently that trainees in my career have big opinions of themselves. Oh, I said, I haven't even said I'm good. Not sure where they were coming from. Says more about them. Oh, absolutely. That was the dickhead that I mentioned earlier. Whoever said that is the dickhead, and there's a reason why they did that. What they did that for was, in dogs, if anyone's got dogs, when dogs are the alpha dog, what will a dog do? They'll put their paw on the smaller dog's head, right? So that happens in human life as well. When someone's doing that, what they're trying to do is squash you down. Boom. That was his paw on your head. And you get to accept the poor being there, or you get to go, oh, you think you're top dog, but actually you're not, because top dog doesn't need to shout. Top dog doesn't need to squash other people to feel better. Top dog is quietly confident, and you can be that person rather than the dickhead that tried to put his paw on your head. It's awful. I hate all that. What a stupid thing to say. Alicia says, can't wait for my book. It is planned at the moment to come out next June. So we have a little time on it, and I can't wait. And guys, I'm going to have a big party. You're going to come? You're going to come to my big book launch party? Probably. Hannah says, it helps so much to reframe. There will always be hard times, absolutely, but to hold on to happy memories and live is wonderful. Oh, love is wonderful. Natalie says, thank you, Holly. She was my rock, and she passed suddenly 4 weeks ago. Really appreciate the words. Oh, man, it's so early, and I'm so glad that you had her. Isn't that amazing that you had her in your life? And Tanya says, hell yes, party. Yes, guys, we're going to have a party, right? Because we're going to move forwards, vaccines and COVID. And we're going to do that. We're going to have a party, and we're going to celebrate, and Happy Me Project book is going to be out in the world, and it's going to do good, guys. It is. And I'm going to sing my own praises. Okay. I will be tooting my own horn because I've got more comfortable with that. So some things we've learned today. It's good to share things about yourself that are positive and the wins that you have. By doing that, you inspire other people. Also, by celebrating other people, you are creating the space and the conversations where it's okay for you to do the same. By being out there and talking about your wins, you inspire other people to try to work towards theirs. And as long as when you're sharing your wins, you are doing it in a way, don't humble brag. You don't need a humble brag. Humble brag, like, I don't know, like, I can't even think of an example of what a humble brag would look like right now. I don't know, like when people like drop in, like name drop, like celebrities or something, maybe that's just in my world. Or like YouTubers with like money. Gross. But do share your story. Do share. Stories are a really good way of sharing your wins without it coming across like you are trying to make other people feel bad, which you're not. None of you guys are going to do that, by the way. I know you're not, because people in my spaces aren't those people. But when people do the whole showing off thing, like, you know, you see the really grotesque stuff on YouTube where people have got like cash, like literal cash. I just think, it just doesn't impress me at all. That don't impress me much. But that kind of stuff is, I think it just doesn't tell the full picture and the full journey. So when you guys share your wins, share the journey, share the story, share the reasons why. When you do that, people understand your story, and it's not just an isolated thing. They can get on board with what's going on for you. And I know, you know, I can see in my spaces, my little corner of the internet, and with you guys in my community, I see a lot of you have come with me on a journey. Some of you have been with me for a long time. Some of you are brand new to my spaces. And the reason I share my story and the things that I'm doing is because I want you to see that journey. I find it exciting when I watch other people go on their journey, and I see their successes and their wins. I feel excited for them, and I'm glad that I've been able to see that. And sometimes you see the downsides to that. You see the moments when they don't feel good, when they go through difficult stuff, and you see them work out of it, and you're maybe not even obviously, but in the background, just like cheering them on. And I know you guys are absolute, like, you're such a support for me, and always cheer me on in the stuff that I do. And I love that. And I hope that I'm able to give you guys a space for the same thing as well. Tenny says, I can't make the workshop. Next one I'm there, I need to meet you guys. Absolutely you do. And having a little look as well. Alicia says, whoop, whoop, I'll be there. Definitely want to sign copy. Absolutely. And welcome Bex as well. Bex is on Periscope. Oh, no worries, lovely. Thought it was a little bit earlier. It was supposed to be 9:30, and I was running about the place, and I thought, do you know what? Stop putting pressure on yourself. It'll all be good. So talk about the wins that you've had this week, and have a think about it. I always like to end the day on thinking about what the wins have been, especially on the days when it's hard. Think about the wins and remind yourself that even the smallest things that moved you closer to feeling a bit better or towards your goals, they're wins. Some days the wins are I just got dressed and I ate. Some days the wins are I completed that assignment. I finished an exam. Sometimes they're bigger, but recognize them all. Bex, my adorable little spoons are very good today. Thank you. Alicia says, proud to be part of this community from maybe the start and happy to have a new faces in here. Such a nice corner of the world to hang out with beautiful people to share. And Tenny says, was meant to be. I was still asleep at 9:30 and I need, oh, good. Well, there you go. It was meant to be. Absolutely. And that's what I thought. I knew that. And so, guys, I posted in the Facebook group last night, but not to everybody else out in the world, about setting an intention for this week. As we are at the beginning of this week, I want you to think about the things you would like to happen, not obsess over them. Just think to yourself, everything that I need, everything that I want to happen is going to fall into place. And I'm going to take steps as I would normally to make those things happen, but I'm not going to force anything because I know that the right things are going to they're going to come towards me. And the opportunities that I want are already making their way to me. And when we start to think about it like that, we let go of resistance about things and we just get shit done. And that's what's going to happen. Have an amazing week, guys. I am going to be with you tomorrow. I am thinking it's probably going to be 10 o'clock. And that's going to be the last of my loads of lives at once. Not the last of lives, of course, but it's going to be the last because I need to spend some time with my kids and we're allowed back out into the world proper. And so we will be doing some stuff, but I will be with you. And if you're not in my Facebook group, make sure to get in there, the Happy Me Project Facebook. Make sure to get your tickets for my workshop on Saturday, the 14th of August. It's going to be a lovely group. It's not going to be some wild party for those of you that are still concerned about coronavirus stuff. I'm keeping it small, I'm keeping it intimate, but it's going to be the very best of people and we're going to have loads of fun. And I'm thinking of some nice things that I can get for you guys and do and just make it really special because I want that to be the case. I know for some of you, it is it's the first event that you'll have been to. And it's the first one that I've done. So I want as many of you there as possible. Spread the word, tell your friends, and I will see you all tomorrow morning. Peace.